Coming up on AEA Amplified, Amy software from WBParts helps avionics shops with their productivity and profits.
From the Aircraft Electronics Association, this is AEA Amplified, a podcast for aviation's technology experts, with your host, Jeff Hill.
Hello, and welcome to AEA Amplified, sponsored by Genesis Aerosystems, a Moog company, and a leading provider of integrated avionics systems for military and civil operators around the world. From rugged integrated flight displays to digital flight control systems for rotor and fixed-wing aircraft, Genesis has solutions to increase safety and decrease pilot workload. To learn more about how Genesis can help your customers, visit genesis-aerosystems.com. Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Jeff Hill, for this September 20th, 2021 edition of AEA Amplified. And our guest today is Jeremy Hamm, and he's the Business Development Manager for WBParts. Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us today. And I know your company joined the AEA not too long ago, back in 2017, but you have certainly been no stranger to the membership and to the avionics community. I know that members from all across the globe have gotten to know you very, very quickly. But let's start by just telling us a little bit more about yourself and your company, WB Parts and WB Parts Express.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. So WB Parts was founded in 2006 and is primarily a military commercial parts distributor. We started WB Parts Express in 2015. Kind of trying to break into other aspects of aviation. And then my friends of mine said, hey, your hardware systems, we like those. We need to have those in the AEA. So we did our first convention in New Orleans in 2017, and we've been off and running ever since.
And the product that you're probably best known for within the general aviation market is AMI, which I believe stands for Aircraft Maintenance and Inventory System. And AMI is basically, as I understand it, a free work order software and helping a lot of AA members to streamline their business. But tell us exactly, what is AMI, how did it come about, and how does it work?
That's a great question, and I get asked that all the time. So AMI is, in fact, a work order management system. It's going to take care of all the quoting, work orders, invoices, inventory management, inventory control. It takes care of labor hours, so you can log hours to either a job or just to attendance or shop time, so you can kind of feed your payroll system with it. It does all your camp services, all your scheduled maintenance. So if you do 411, 413s, you can send automatic notifications to your customers. You can take care of your annuals and 50s and 100s and ELT checks and all that fun stuff. And that's all going to just feed the notification system so that your customers can be notified right away. The way AMI came about is actually a really good story. We were exhibiting at Oshkosh 2016 or so, and we had just released our first cabinet hardware system and the WebEx Pro app, which is a scan app that helps you kind of reload the box and ties right to our Express website. And the biggest question we kept getting asked at the show was, hey, these boxes are great, your app is great, but does it tell us when to reorder? And we're like, no, you just kind of have to eyeball it and go from there. But it got Jerome and I thinking, and Jerome's the owner of our company. So we went back to the house, we started thinking about it, and we said, hey, we could come up with an inventory software system that would help these guys know when it's time to reorder. So we kind of modeled it a little bit after Square, and then we traveled the state of Florida, talked to several Part 91, Part 145 maintenance repair shops, and kind of looked at what they needed. After that, we came up with our version 1 for 2018, and it's been off and running ever since. And it is free. We do not charge for it. We look at it as our value add to our customers. Because I tell them all the time that we don't want to just be a supplier. We do want to be your partner, and we want to help you grow your business. The members that we've seen start switching to the software because they're not paying for an EBIS or total FBO or an AVM, they've been able to grow their shop, whether it be trying to expand hangar space, buy new test equipment, or even we've had guys even be able to hire new personnel because they're not limited to, the $20,000 it costs to run a software system.
It's fascinating story and fascinating background, just, meeting the need of the industry that you identified and is there. And so it's been around for a couple of years now, but can you tell us, is there anything new with this product? Here it is. It's in September of 2021. We're heading into 2022. What's new with Amy today?
Well, we're always adding stuff, new features all the time, but the big thing we're adding right now is a work order scheduler. And what that's going to do for the users is allow them to load in all their work orders and quotes. It loads it into a Gantt chart, and then they'll be able to add tasks or add squawks to the chart and line it up in line with what resources they have available for that day. So we'll say, oh, you got 3 technicians, that's 24 man hours available. You can stack 24 work hours against that, and then we're going to have a resource calendar that'll let you know, oh, you don't have 24 hours today, you actually have 20 or 16 or whatever it is. That's a big feature we've got coming out right now, and that will be ready for AEA, the AEA Connect in Orlando.
Awesome. And so, if you're for avionics shops, for technicians, questions that they might have, in terms of visibility, how does the Amy software help a shop maybe see what's going on and then take course corrections as needed? And, how do shops know if they made money on a particular job? How does it help with scheduling? Does Amy help with those things?
It absolutely does. So if they want to check out how much money they made, we've added a feature called job costing rates, and that allows shop owners to go through all their technicians and put in their burden labor rate, so know exactly how much, not only the pay rate, but insurance, workman's comp. So they bill all that into their labor cost. And then if they're doing a good job staying on top of logging hours, we run what's called a revenue report. And the revenue report will show them what they budgeted the job to be. So, if they said it's supposed to be 20 hours, it took them, 12, and they billed for 20, they can say, oh, we made really good money on this because here's what we made on labor, here's what we made on parts. On the flip, it allows them to see, oh, we billed for 20 hours. It actually took us 28 hours to complete this job. So we're upside down 8 labor hours on this. And they can see where those losses are. And then with the variance reports that we have, they can go through and say, well, what was the problem? Was it because this guy took too long? Was it an issue with the aircraft we've never seen? Is it something along those lines where they can go through and say, okay, this is becoming a habit. How can we fix this? Do we change it with our quoting? Do we change it with our scheduling? And it really kind of helps them kind of iron out the little bugs and issues so that they can stay on top of labor and stay on top of parts and start making money and not having to do that thumbs up, thumbs down scale. One of our users, before they started using the system, they thought it was a simple little wiring job. They thought they were going to make a couple $100 on it, and it turns out they only made 80. So he's like, okay, well, we need to change some things. So they were able to change it. And now the little simple wire job can be what he thought it was and actually be a couple $100 versus 80.
Yeah, that's an amazing tool that gets right into, the whole point of it, helping the shops be more productive and more profitable. And Jeremy, I know you, getting to know you personally, you've got a background and a history with simple Lean Six practices, which, also increases job productivity. But how does that come into play in terms of just-in-time parts and inventory control practices?
Well, my background with Lean Six started when we were doing a project with Lockheed Martin. We worked with a company who made the winches for the C-130. And part of that initiative was, myself and Jerome needed to get acquainted with Lean Six and, practice like that so we can help this one particular customer of ours streamline their process and make a better product for Lockheed under their budget. I have then taken those skills and try to brought them into the Amy world, where what Amy does is it gives you these low stock notifications. And that really helps with your just-in-time parts. The biggest complaint that I get from folks who, especially with hardware, is they don't track it properly. And when they get low or they start running low on the floor, now they've got to stop the job. They've got to go find it somewhere online, and they've got to overnight it and buy a min. When you think about the cost of that by itself, you're looking at up to $5,000 a loss just because you're not working and you're holding up on 50 cents of hardware. So what the software does, allows you to track that inventory so you don't run low. And then as far as the just-in-time parts, you can schedule, your deliveries and your jobs based on when their parts are estimated to come in, because it's all tied to a purchase order system. So when you need parts for the job, you send the place, you place the PO for it, and then based on when, they're telling you they're going to ship and when your estimated delivery is, you can then go out and schedule and make sure that when that aircraft is showing up that same week, the parts are showing up for the install, or whatever it is you're doing for that airplane at the time.
And once again, we are visiting with Jeremy Hamm. He's the Business Development Manager for WBParts here on AEA Amplified, sponsored by Genesis Aerosystems, a Moog company. And Jeremy, you were also one of the participants in the AEA Convention's new product introduction session, and that took place back on June the 22nd, just a few months ago in Dallas, Texas. And I know you briefed the convention attendees there on the XPS test cart. So tell us a little bit about that new product.
Well, that product actually falls right in with the Lean Six practices. What that allows you to do is have your transponder tester, your RAM tester, a manifold that's RVS compliant, so you can isolate lines, and your adapters all wrapped into one cart. That idea came about from talking to several technicians who have built their own style cart or something of that nature to keep all their IFR test equipment in one spot. What this allows you to do is allows you to run a 411 transponder check with all your instrumentation right there at your fingertips at one time. That was the biggest thing people have asked for. So we decided, well, let's see if we can't crack it. The OEMs aren't working together, so let's see if we can't find some kind of integration to help these folks out. And that falls right in line with the rest of all of our cart systems, just the regular pedostatic cart or our avionics or maintenance cart systems. So all part of that Lean Six Sigma initiative to help these shops eliminate motion. And when you eliminate motion, you eliminate waste, and then you're more profitable.
And Jeremy, I know you and WBParts will be exhibiting at the AEA Connect conferences here in the United States this fall. In fact, they are coming up quickly. The East Connect conference is just in a little bit over a week away, September 29th and 30th in Orlando, and then again next month in Reno in October. So give us a little preview on maybe what the avionics shops who will be in attendance at those events can expect to see from you at your booth.
They're going to be able to take a look at the software that we have. I'll be doing live demonstrations of the software at the booth. I'm also going to be available all the week for one-on-one personalized training, maybe help some folks get integrated so they can get up and running a little faster. And then we're going to have more information about the XPS cart. We're hoping to start working with Viabe and get their new transponder test incorporated into the XPS cart. And we should be able to at least be talking about that by Reno.
That sounds great. I know the shops will certainly want to swing by your booth and check all of that out. And we've covered a lot here in a short amount of time. Is there anything else that you'd like to add or share with the AEA members who are listening out there?
Just that this is a really great organization, and if it hasn't been for the AEA, I don't think I would have been able to grow as fast as I have in the general aviation industry. This is a really great community. It's a really great class. Everything from the 145 repair station class to the pedostat classes. It's just been a really, really great learning experience for myself. Other than that, you come by, check out, the software at the booth. You can always check it out online at ami.wbpartsexpress.com. You can also go to wbpartsexpress.com to learn more about our avionics carts, our maintenance carts, and the rest of our test equipment.
Well, Jeremy, thank you so much for your time and for joining us today. That's Jeremy Hamm, the Business Development Manager for WBParts here on AEA Amplified. And as he said, you can learn more about the company. Visit WBParts.com or WBPartsExpress.com. So before we go, let me remind our listeners of a couple of important announcements. And we did mention the Connect conferences, and they are coming up. The dates for the two in the United States are September the 29th and 30th. The East Connect Conference will take place in Orlando, Florida. And then on October 27th and 28th, the West Connect Conference will be in Reno, Nevada. Registration is open along with hotel information for each of those two-day conferences at aea.net/connect. And the AA will also be hosting a Connect conference in Europe. You can join us in Cologne, Germany, November 17th and 18th at the Hyatt Regency Cologne. Registration for that event is also online at aea.net/connect. And I also want to encourage those of you who plan to attend the 65th Annual AEA International Convention and Trade Show next spring in New Orleans to save the dates and book your hotel rooms now. The show takes place March 28th through the 31st at the Ernest N. Memorial Convention Center. But do keep in mind that the NCAA Men's Basketball Final Four will also take place in New Orleans, and that will be immediately following the conclusion of the AA convention. So you're going to want to secure those hotel rooms now before it's too late. You can find a hotel reservations link for the AEA room block at the Hilton New Orleans Riverside at aea.net/convention. And early bird registration will also be open to attendees, and that will start up on October the 1st. And finally, if your company is hiring, don't forget to post your career opportunities on the AEA jobs board, and that's at aea.net/jobs. Free resume posting is also available, so check that out again at aea.net/jobs. And that's going to wrap it up for today. We hope you can join us again soon for another episode of AEA Amplified, sponsored by Genesis Aerosystems, a Moog company. To learn more about how Genesis and its full range of products, visit genesis-aerosystems.com. Until next time on AEA Amplified, so long everybody and be safe.